if you're struggling to get your first business credit card or any type of business credit card, I'm going to show you where to start at and what you should do. Now, here's the thing about it when you're trying to get a business credit card. First thing, do you want a revolving or do you want to charge? Okay, that's the two biggest things about it that most people don't understand. Should I get a revolving card or a charge card? And we're going to talk about both of those. Now, if you're talking about a revolving card, then your easiest business credit card, of course, would probably be a NAV, right? And the reason why the NAV card is so easy to get is because it is a charge card. Now, the good part about it being a charge card, they don't check your personal credit. All right. You don't have to put any money up front. All right. So there's no security deposit. You don't have to have no history in the business. All right. So that's number one. If you want a revolving card, so say that you want a revolving card, then you have a Capital One Spark. Okay. Now, here's the thing about it with Capital One Spark. All you need is a 580 credit score, right? Now, here's the thing about it that you need to understand. With the Capital One Spark credit card, it does report both on the business side as well as the personal side, all right? Now, you only need a 580, but the interesting thing about it with Capital One that I really like, say that you had a personal account with them in the past, all right, and you defaulted on that account. If that charge off is over 12 months, you actually can still qualify for this business credit card. This is going to be your lowest hanging fruit with a business credit card. Now, you also have, if you need a gas card, you have A to B, right? And they report to Experian. Now, here's the thing about it. Let me go back to NAV for you to help you understand about NAV. So with NAV, they report to Experian and Equifax, all right? Now, with Capital One Spark, if you have a Capital One account and stuff like that, business account, usually you're expecting Experian, Equifax, D, and B, all right? Also Small Business Financial Exchange, all right? Now, this here, most people don't realize the value of this here, Small Business Financial Exchange. So when you're trying to get like a SBA loan or something like that, the Small Business Financial Exchange, as a matter of fact, with Dun & Bradstreet, they actually picked this information up from Small Business Financial Exchange. So like when you're trying to go for, right? So American Express will not report to the major business credit bureaus. What they will report to is Small Business Financial Exchange. And then that information is picked up with Experian and Dun & Bradstreet. So American Express is one of those cards that will not report to nobody except for Small Business Financial Exchange. All right, just to give you some clarity. But again, going back to the low-hanging fruits, another gas card that's pretty easy to get is the Shell Business Gas, right? So the Shell Business Gas card, the thing about it with the Shell Business Gas card, it does report. So it may pick up with Equifax, Experian, and D and B. All right. Now, a lot of people, they're confused because they're focused on having a 80 PAYDAX, a DUNS number, and things of that nature, and it's not necessary. All right, not to get these cards. Now, unless you're just trying to get like under your EIN. So in reference to like your EIN, these here cards are also focused on the EIN. The only one that's not focused on the EIN is this here Capital One Spark. All right, so if you're trying to get cards that are just with your EIN, then these are some of your best cards you want to go after. Now, someone asks, well, does net 30 accounts matter? Well, the thing about it, if you have a bad credit score, okay, and you don't have revenue in the business, then of course I would encourage you to start stacking net 30 accounts. However, here's the thing that most people don't understand. You don't need 10, 20, 30 net 30s, all right? I tell people the maximum you would need is between 4, and 5. And for some of you, I know that you probably in the gig economy and stuff like that, and you just looking for a loan and stuff. I'm going to share some of those with you as well that don't look at the personal credit. But I just need to clarify some of this information, that stuff. Also, you guys are missing the opportunity because we actually have a free business credit program. Click the link below that actually walks you from A to Z, all about business credit, how to get the first business credit card, the business loan, as well as the business line of credit. All right. Now, one of the key things that most people have a misconception of is the address, right? So most people think that, well, if I get a virtual address versus using my home address, will I get more funding? That's not going to determine you getting more funding. All right. That does not determine that. All right. At one point, it would be helpful, but because there are so many other business, multi-million-dollar business that are ran out of their homes and stuff like that, and because of the past pandemic and stuff, a lot of banks, they don't focus as much on the address for where the business is operating, more or less in terms of, is the business generating revenue? All right. So that's the thing about it. And talking about businesses that generate revenue, if you have bad credit and stuff, now you have cap on tap, right? Capital on tap. Now this is a revenue-based account. Now here's the thing about it with capital on tap in terms of trying to get funding even with your EIN number. When you put in that application, and a lot of people got caught up on this, when you put in that application and they approve you for a certain amount, that does not mean they will not double back and check your checking account. They may ask you for invoices. They may ask you for bank statements, okay? So with a company like this, you have to be careful. Even though you can do it with EIN and get a credit card with them and stuff, they may double back and want to see those invoices. Now, if you're not able to produce invoices and pay stubs and things like that, that's going to be a problem for you because you'll lose the account, okay? If you need help with like payroll, pay stubs and stuff like that, click the link below. We can help you with that, but you have to be very careful with this. Now, if you have at least a 600 credit score, then you have Corpay, right? So with Corpay, they report to Experian, Equifax, DNB. And all you need is at least a 600, and they pull Experian, all right? So they will pull Experian with Corpay, all right? So this is the thing about it. Like I said, a lot of people thinking that, well, I have to have a perfect credit score to get business credit card. That's not true. You don't have to have a perfect credit score. You have to have a business that actually is properly registered and stuff. Because a lot of these companies, if you are operating as a DBA, they won't deal with you. They'll overlook you or whatever. So in reference to getting properly registered as a business is very important. Also, trying to pick the right bank. Again, that free program, we actually talk about that. And again, I created it and I give it away for free because I want the community to be aware of their options and have some type of leverage when trying to get business funding and stuff. Now, you have another one. You have Bill.com, right? AKA Divvy. Okay? So Divvy, again, it's revenue based, all right? So it has nothing to do with the personal credit. It's all about the revenue. Now, here's the thing about it that most people don't know. With Divvy, they give you 1 week, 2 weeks, or 30 days, all right? So what that means is that if you're going to go 1 week, meaning you use the card and you're going to pay it off the next week, they give you a higher amount. If you're going 2 weeks or bi-weekly, they give you a lesser amount. And then 30 days, they give you even a lesser amount. That's how they actually operate in terms of funding. Now, for some of you all that may wonder, like, okay, where do I get a loan at when I have bad credit and I'm doing like DoorDash and things of that nature? Well, here's the thing about it. You do have Lendeska, okay? So with Lendeska, they offer up to $20,000, All right. This is no credit check. Now, Lendeska is a platform, but it's no credit check. So you're not looking at the credit or whatever. But here's the thing about it. Again, they want you to be making at least $1,500. All right. Then you also have, now Fair Figure, they will also give you a loan. Their loans go from $500 up to $500,000. Now, here's the thing about it. I had somebody say, hey, I tried Fair Figure and they wouldn't give me a loan. If you don't have revenue in the business, you have to have revenue in the business. Be able to prove that you have revenue in the business. Now, the minimum revenue is $2,500. Okay, that's the minimum revenue that you have to have in order to get a loan with them. Now, Fair Figure is similar to NAB. The difference between the two is that with Fair Figure, okay, they report to more. They report to Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, Small Business, Financial Exchange, Credit Safe. So they report to a lot more. The thing about it, I always tell people I would sign up with Fair Figure as well as NAB. So that way you can have 4 trade lines that's reported on your business credit profile. Now, here's the thing about it. I tell people when you're getting like your Net 30 type of accounts and stuff to report, they're not going to report by the name. All right. They'll report by what it is for the product. If it's a product type of base or a lending type of base. Those are the two things that they're going to report under. All right. So if you're looking for the name, you're not going to see the name. All right. You're going to see the product. That's what it's going to tell you. Now with Fair Figure, again, it monitors the personal side as well as the business side. And again, just like NAB, what they'll do, they'll give you access to your Vantage scores, right? So your Vantage credit score is the same credit score as you look at when you go into Credit Karma, right? So in terms of like your TransUnion, your Equifax and stuff like that. So that's what they do. Now, for some of you guys, you may have a high Vantage score with your Credit Karma, right? And you don't know where do I go? So if you want a business credit card leveraging off of your Vantage score, then again, you would try bcu.org. Okay, it's a credit union, Baxter Credit Union. You join through the Life Money U program, right? $5 to join. All right, now the thing about it, it's a TransUnion 3, Vantage 3. Okay, this is a low-hanging fruit. All right, so this is definitely one of the places you want to look at if you want to get a business credit card off of your Vantage. Now, your Vantage scoring is definitely different from your FICO score. So in terms of your FICO score, that's where your American Express, your Citibank, your Chase and stuff like that. But if you're just starting out and you have bad credit, okay, but you may have an okay Vantage score, at least a 660 Vantage score. Now, your 660 Vantage score is not equivalent to your FICO score, but a 660 Vantage score, again, will still get you a business credit card, an unsecured business credit card. And you also have Veridian. Now, why I always talk about these, it's a Vantage 3 TransUnion because they're non-geo-restricted. Anybody can join. So where you have to jump through hoops where for Navy Federal or whatever, you don't have to jump through hoops to join these here institutions and stuff like that, all right? And so you join Veridian through the Habitat of Humanity. But if you're trying to get your easiest business credit cards, this is where you want to start. These are going to be your easiest business credit card. Like I said, you have some revolving as well as some charge cards. And again, focus on the EIN. Over here, they will pull your personal credit, but they will not report your business credit card on the personal credit. It'll only be on the business. The only one that's going to be on the personal business is your Capital One Spark. All right, so just remember that. Again, click the link, get access to the free video series. Again, people, I'm always trying to help the community. All I ask you all is to give me feedback comment. Let me know if it's helpful. If you schedule a one-on-one consultation, we can go deeper into it. So I'll see you in the next video.